Hello everyone, this is Sushri, your host for the season. So let's begin. Suppose you are walking on a street and you observe a person constantly tailing your path. Maybe it's a coincidence that your paths are same. Minutes passed, but you see his eyes constantly fixed on you, following your footsteps. Increasing his pace as you do, a kind of weird anxiety and fear starts to develop in your mind. Lots of things starts running in your mind. Wherever you go, you feel those eyes staring at you. And at that time, you begin to doubt your own safety and eventually on yourself. Right, today we are going to talk about stalking. Stalking is a pattern of repeated and unwanted attention, harassment, contact, or any other course of conduct directed at a specific person that would cause a reasonable person to feel the fear. Yes, this is this long dictionary meaning of stalking. In simple language, stalking means following. You are following someone through any means and it's constant following. Distinguishing stalking in two types, one of which is physical stalking. It is basically committed when a person intentionally not having any legitimate purpose approaches you and behaves in such a manner which reasonably can create a fear of harm, physical, mental, emotional health. It may happen at your home or any public place. Well, is that way of saying. With the advent of technology in our lives, stalkers have found another way to harass women. Yes, we are talking about cyber stalking. Cyber stalking is another type of stalking and most probably the matter of deep concern. It is defined as the crime where these stalkers use internet or any other electronic device to stalk someone. It can be via social media, phone calls, emails, text messages, or any of these forms. Both of them are crimes because it disturbs one's personal life and intimacy. And such offense which infringes privacy of women can't be lesser than the brutalities of sex assault and rape. Whether it is physical stalking or cyber stalking, there is always this general question which arises in our mind: why such crime occurs? Well, there must be many reasons, but we have found out the actual reasons behind it by studying the cases being reported. The reasons being stalked: hatred, rage redistribution, envy, obsession, psychiatric dysfunction, power and control, sexual device, or erotomania. Moving on, we will be talking about these reasons later on in the episode. So let's move forward. We got the stalking types and the most probably reasons behind it. Let's look at how we have planned to protect our victims, at least in our nation. Protecting the victims? How? Obviously, it will be by the law system. We are living in an era where our law and sophisticated justice system is as blind and deaf as the Lady Justice. I don't have any intention to condemn the law system of our nation, but to criticize the persons associated with the system and abusing their powers. In 2013, Indian Parliament made amendments in Indian Penal Code enlisting stalking as the act of offence which may lead the culprit to 3 years of imprisonment and even 5 years of imprisonment along with fine if he commits the crime again. So here's all about the crime and punishment. Sounds straight, right? because to me it sounds straight. I wish it happens. But do we bother to think about the victim in those cases? Get the culprit arrested. It's pretty simple, right? Well, only the citizens of India know this. In India, no female victim's life has ever been easy. Even if she is proven innocent, still she will suffer outside. No one likes to be followed or have check on their personal lives. Take a moment and ask yourself, how would you keep calm in these situations? If you will, one would eventually lose the control of mind and naturally won't feel safe. But that's not the only thing. All the unwanted tension and thoughts due to the pressure building up there force you to become someone else or act differently. Even in the most secured environment, you would feel scared. That feeling never gets away because those thoughts, images are saved in your subconscious mind. And you have repeatedly thought of those things as a part of you. Under these circumstances, although having a well-established law, do the victims come out to file the report? Fine, let's assume the case is filed. It is investigated and checked thoroughly. Is it investigated and checked thoroughly? And it is quite known to all of us that how fast is our law system. Obviously, I don't need to tell you all this. Just confirming these facts by few reality checks. These are following real cases that has happened in India. Seema Khanna, an employee with an embassy in New Delhi, received a series of emails where the cyber stalker asked her to give him 1 lakh or her nude picture, or else he will post her morphed pictures on sex websites with her number and address. She filed a complaint against him. Later, she receives her own pictures that she has saved in her email. Obviously, that means someone has hacked her email and was able to access her personal things. Terrifying, right? Probably disgusting. Many of the cases in India have been like that. Nobody wants anyone to have access to their personal things or personal life without the permission. It's unpleasant and many of the times destroying. Let me put few more examples so we all can interpret this crime more effectively. A housewife receiving obscene calls from around the world after a hacker flashed her details on the net. This is an example of revenge. She must have offended him, or in his words, he must have been hurt so much that he didn't had any choice other than this. Amazing, right? Isn't it? She offended you, and you must bring shame to her. For that, by revealing in front of the whole world is not enough. That's how the revenge must be taken. It's satisfying, isn't it? A girl from Tamil Nadu's Salem district rejected a man much older than her. He then digitally superimposed her face on a scantily clad body of another woman and posted on Facebook. Another example of revenge. This time you all may just get little insight of further happenings in the background. She knew it was him, and she did confess it to her parents. Her father lodged the FIR, and few days later another image was tagged to her ID in the Facebook. On the same day, she hanged herself. And in her suicide note, she repeatedly wrote that she hasn't sent anyone those pictures or wrote anything. Well, this is what exactly happens. This may not be the story of everyone, but many. Stalkers don't have a heart. They just have a furious psychic mind to do one thing and they just do it. When it's for the hatred, revenge, they don't even care. Many of you might judge for being weak and not able to sustain. But just think once. Would you be able to sustain in those situations? It's difficult. It's very difficult. Especially when you think people are judging you on that picture basis. When the whole world is looking at you with a filter. When the society doesn't accept you. When you see that kind of image of yours in people's eyes. Would that be acceptable to you? It's too much to handle, especially in a country where women all have is just one word, character. Just one advice. In these situations, try to listen to yourself more than anyone else. Your self-belief will only sustain you. Fight for the right, even if it's not for yourself. I agree, pride once lost very hard to restore. And explaining others have always been the toughest thing. But still, fight. You have one life. Be proud of yourself. When you get that man arrested, you will feel good no matter what. You will not regret for sure. Cyberstalking is much more dangerous than you think it is. Because you don't know the person many of the times. You don't know what he is planning to do next. You also don't know what all he can access. Is he watching you constantly? You have all these questions in your mind. Also, after effects are vulnerable because those kinds of things just don't bring unwanted tension but shame, embarrassment publicly, image destruction, and if you would not be able to handle it, then it may cost you your life too. Also, in these cases, filing an FIR has been much difficult for victims. Police will need every detail and they will ask in a way. The victims many a times feel uncomfortable to speak the truth or everything. Obviously, nobody will like to disclose these matters or show those images having your face on it. Even if you report, then also you are not at ease. Stalking is that kind of thing. And cyber stalking has always been more dangerous. Talking of physical stalking, revenge is something stalkers have as their prime reason. That goes for physical stalking as well. Other than that, they have either sexual obsession, attraction, or erotomania. After you know the cases been reported under this category, you will get the reason clear. 22-year Swati, an Infosys employee in Chennai, was hacked to death in broad daylight by 24-year-old Ram Kumar, a stalker. He killed her while she was waiting for the train. Well, that's the thing about physical stalking. These people know exactly where you go, at what time, and on which days, all of these. Swati's attacker had a crush on her and she always ignored his attention. She had to pay the price. And guess what? She paid the price with her blood. It's always been difficult to judge these situations around you. You can never say that this would turn out to be that dangerous because it's just a sudden change in someone's mindset. Following, and then someday they would just attack. Maybe this is the case for Swati too. Horrible. Just horrible. Next is the case of Shri Priya, a 22-year-old. Her cheek was slit by Rohit Kumar, her stalker, on her way to church. That day, he again proposed her and forced her to express love for him that she never had. Then, he did what he had planned to do. Shri Priya would not have imagined that that would be her day, just because she didn't accept someone's love, or should I say, someone's obstinacy. Crazy, just crazy, right? Moving on, we have another crazy and deadly case of Uttar Pradesh. The stalker here killed the whole family along with that girl he was following. Miraj, the man who set that woman on fire and stabbed her mother and grandmother to death because she was getting married to another man. That's all the reason he had to burn that woman alive. Obviously, yeah, you would burn that woman alive because she was getting married to another man and you had all the rights on her. Fortunately, she survived, but her mother and grandmother had life-ending injuries. Crazy, just crazy, right? This was the case reported, so we got to know. There have been many other crazy cases like this. Right now, I just have one word. Disgusting. Disgusting. In India, more than 99% stalking cases happens with females, and many of those cases goes without a report or investigation. Yeah, that's the true fact. And we are now talking about the change word, better the environment for women in our country. Where these ideas come from, literally. When people here just cannot accept rejection and are truly inspired by movies that in love everything you do is correct and fair, you accept women to survive in these kind of environments? Stalking cases makes the victim go crazy, literally. Security issues make them even change the place they live in or the city. They just don't feel safe. They just don't feel like talking to anyone, meeting people, and even going outside. In case of females, it's getting even worse. They don't feel comfortable talking about it. They lose self-confidence, and if it goes ever, then they just attempt suicide. Because they start to hate themselves. They think people will judge. And actually, they are correct in this. People here are more interested in other people's lives. They will judge you on the basis of external things. They won't miss this great opportunity to push you down. After all, that's been the human nature. At least in these cases it can be changed. But the question is, are we willing to? That's the question we must ask to ourselves. Do you still don't think the clothes she wore at the crime location? Or what was her words? Was she revolting? In which condition she was? Was she drunk? With whom she was coming back? If you don't have these questions before hearing the case, ask yourself, are you willing to accept the change? If you are a woman hearing this right now, just ask yourself if you are willing to take a stand for yourself, no matter the situation, and not waiting for someone to speak for you. Then you are empowered. These are not just words or feelings, but reality. You have only yourself to rely on, and trust yourself than believing on someone else. Because stalking has become rampant across India. In 2018, 9,000 plus cases of stalking were reported in India. The number of stalking cases being reported has been increasing. from 7,000 plus cases in 2016 to 8,000 plus cases in 2017. Such an elevation, and this number is only going to increase if we don't get the measures right. Except the cases been reported, there must be many more cases that has never been come out because of the family pressure, because of the social media pressure, or the image pressure. In India, a girl is stalked in every 55 minutes. That must get you a clear vision that how stalking is becoming a more dangerous crime than any other crime in India. And we are still on this question. Are we really changing? All these factors are quite enough to break down one's self-confidence, and she may even stop believing on anyone and eventually on herself. And I am not formulating or predicting this scenario. It happens every day and has been faced by a huge fraction of women in our society. Again, I am saying this. This is not a movie. We are not living in a movie. This is a reality and we must face it. In movies, like it shows, it may seem very cool that someone is madly in love with you and following you everywhere, has his eyes on you all the time, as the atmosphere is created in movies or shows. But does it really happen? This is a complete myth. The girl in the show eventually agrees by seeing his efforts, but that's not how it goes in real life. Obviously, that's not how it goes in real life. People here don't have any intention to impress, rather than know just to impose. They know how to force you, how to force their decision on you. Because they have the so-called feelings and the other person don't have it. Just think like that. They give a shit on others' decision. If you protest, then they will have to bear the consequences. Because people take these things as a bet. They so want to win that they can go up to any level. Just any level. It's been quite an episode. All the hatred, all the cases, all the effects, all the madness, all the pain. It has been an incredible journey. We now should move forward. After looking at the problems, we must look at the solutions. If we could help in some way, that would be great. So here's what we can do if we are stalked. First thing you can do is to shout. Try to gather as much as people as you can to protect yourself. Use them to protect yourself. The next thing you can do is, you have the technology in your hands, right? You can contact the helpline number available for your city or the local police number, or if you like, you can contact your family members as well. In case of physical stalking, you can also take a picture of the stalker or the vehicle as your evidence to show for your safety only. And there has been also few apps which provide safety. If they work, use them. Here I would like to add She Teams that has been introduced by the Telangana state, by the Telangana police, with a motto to provide safety and security to the women in Telangana and to make Hyderabad a safe and smart city. It has been a great initiative by them and it's been quite somehow successful also. Guria India has been another organization which focus has been on rescue and legal intervention. They don't just only provide them legal help but also help them to collect evidence. It's quite unusual for an organization to do these things, but they have been successful in doing so and helping many other helpless women in our nation. By saying these things, I just want to say, if you think right now you don't have any options or medium, then you are wrong. You are completely wrong. In today's era, currently you have many options, many options. It's just that you need to say, you need to speak up, you need to take a stand for yourself. If you are thinking someone will come and take a stand for you, speak for yourself, then that's not going to happen. Make yourself to stand for yourself. There has been many people, many organizations, NGOs which can help you. But before that, you need to reach out to them. You need to reach out to them at the right time before it's too late. That's all for today's episode. Wait until the next one. Till then, stay tuned to Asira for more information. I'm Sushri, your host, signing off.